Branson Keel took over in the last inning, and he struck out one and only allowed a run, but not surrendering a hit. So Sumption is tasked with trying to get the Hard Hats the championship and the win. It's all hands on deck for both sides. Mitchell, post 18 and post 22 fighting for the 2018 South Dakota American Legion Baseball State Championship. The post 22 staff comes out. Assistant coach Nick Ewing, pitching coordinator Ryan Clapperich, and the head coach Kelvin Torvey out there as well. Coach Torvey, this has to be a special moment for him in his first year as the head coach of Post 22, trying to lead them back on top in the state and book them a ticket to Dickinson, North Dakota for the Central Plains Regional Tournament and a shot at going to Shelby, North Carolina for the American Legion World Series. Gene Gillen is going to recite the American Legion Code of Conduct for all of our players out on the field right now. Always a very special moment to hear that creed recited. The colors are being presented, folks, so with that being said, we will let them approach the field. We'll take a step aside. When we come back, it's the recitation of the Code of Conduct, the performance of the United States National Anthem, and we'll be all set with the 2018 State Championship on the line between Mitchell and Post 22. You are listening to Post 22 Hard Hats Baseball and the 2018 South Dakota American Legion Baseball State Championship here on ESPN Rapid City. Sunday and the showdown for the 2018 South Dakota American Legion Baseball State Championship. This matchup, a familiar one from this season, from this postseason, and from years past. Mitchell post-18 against the post-22 Hard Hats. We're moments away from warm-ups and from first pitch. We will have our ceremonial first pitch tossed before we get underway. Mitchell, 3 wins and a loss coming to this point, defeating Brandon Valley on day 1, falling to the Hard Hats on day 2, fighting for their lives to defeat Sioux Falls East on day 3, defeating Renner last night on day 4 for a shot at the state championship. They have to beat the Hard Hats twice today if they hope to pull that off. Post-22, undefeated, defeating Brookings 12-1 on day 1, 11-1 against Mitchell on day 2, 4-3 against Renner on day 3 for a shot on Championship Sunday, and 14-6 last night against Brandon Valley to force Mitchell into the 2-win scenario for the championship. Post-22 wins this game right in front of us. It's all done. If they lose, it's a winner-take-all showdown to complete the afternoon and the tournament. Thanks again so much for joining us this afternoon, folks, for the 2018 South Dakota American Legion Baseball State Championship, folks. Mark Benetti alongside you here on ESPN Rapid City, 105.7 FM, 1340 AM. Zach Sumption begins his warm-up pitches on the mound. Coach Torvey going with the righty to try and secure the 2018 State Championship. While he warms up, here's a refresher on the Mitchell post-18 batting order. Leading off for Mitchell is number 21, Carson Max, patrolling right field. Batting second is number 9, Austin Kerr, serving as the designated hitter. Batting third is number 8, Sam Mickles as the catcher. And in the cleanup position is number 17, Brady Hawkins. He's in the hot corner at third base. Batting fifth is number 7, Peyton Nash, patrolling left field. Batting sixth is number 15, Carter Max. He's out at first base. Batting seventh is number 4, Kobe Larson, out at second base. Batting eighth is number 2, Jared Miller, patrolling center field. Rounding out the batting order in the 9th spot for Mitchell is number 1, Drew Kitchens, and he is out at shortstop. Defensive alignment for post-22 has Zach Sumption and his right arm on the mound, paired up with his 4-1 record, and paired up with the catcher Ryan Schmidt behind home plate. At first base is Jack Sorensen. At second base is Mason Messenger. Shortstop, Cooper Bowman. And in the hot corner at third is Matt Hegry. Left to right in the outfield, Alex Weaver, Connor King, and Holden Jackson. Jackson getting his first action offensively and defensively for the Hard Hats as he is playing right field with Sumption on the mound. Holden Jackson has come in twice to pitch in this tournament, and he is available today if things get tough. Mitchell wearing the gold tops, the black pants. Post-22 going with the cream team look. Cream tops, cream pants. The first pitch to Carson Max is a called strike from Sumption. We're officially underway at 1:06 local time, and the championship showdown has begun. Here is the 0-1 to the lefty and Max, and the pitch is swung on and flared off foul, right field side and out of play. And just like that, Sumption's in the driver's seat. No balls and 2 strikes to Carson Max. Max the other day against post-22 went 0 for 1 with a strikeout. And the 0-2 is upstairs for ball 1. Twice he was hit by a pitch, and once he walked. Ball and 2 strikes now to Carson Max. Sumption a full windup. 1-2 pitch, caught him looking, strike 3. And Zach Sumption registers a strikeout on the first man faced for Mitchell. 1 up, 1 down for post-18, and that'll bring us to number 9, Austin Kerr, the designated hitter. Kerr played at third base back on Thursday in day 2, and he went 0 for 2 against the Hard Hats with a walk. And his first pitch is swung on, and it's flared into shallow left. Bowman barehand catches it coming from shortstop. My goodness. And the post-22 faithful are going bananas. A barehand catch on a line drive. 2 down, and that's going to bring up Sam Mickles, the catcher. Whew. You can't make it up when Cooper Bowman does what Cooper Bowman does. So here comes Mickles. He went 0 for 3 against the Hard Hats on Thursday. And his first pitch is popped up. Ryan Schmidt, foul territory, behind home plate, is underneath it, makes the catch, and that's going to end it. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Post 22 on defense. No runs, hits, errors, or anybody left on base for Mitchell. We've played half an inning of baseball, and Post 22 off to a great start defensively. It's a scoreless affair. We'll be right back with the Hard Hats lineup and Mitchell defensive alignment when we return here on ESPN Rapid City. Transitions from defense to offense here for the 2018 South Dakota American Legion Baseball State Championship. Here is a reminder of their lineup in the bottom halves of our 7 innings today. Leading off for Post 22 is number 13, Connor King. He's patrolling center field. Batting second, number 21, Matt Hegre, out in the hot corner at third base. Batting third, number 22, Cooper Bowman, out at shortstop. And in the cleanup positions, number 23, Jack Sorensen. He's out at first base. Batting fifth is number 30, Jace Caldwell, serving as the designated hitter. Batting sixth is number 18, Alex Weaver. He's patrolling left field. Batting seventh and seeing his first offensive action in the tournament is number 20, Holden Jackson, patrolling right field. Batting eighth is number 25, Ryan Schmidt, serving as the catcher. And rounding out the batting order in the ninth spot for the Hard Hats is number 12, Mason Messenger, and he is out at second base. Defensive alignment for Mitchell has Jackson Sadler and his right arm on the mound, paired up with the catcher behind home plate, Sam Mickles. At first is Carter Max. At second, Kobe Larson. At shortstop is Drew Kitchens. And in the hot corner at third is Brady Hawkins. Left to right in the outfield, Peyton Nash, Jared Miller, and Carson Max. So here comes Connor King, the only lefty Sadler will see. And his first pitch misses inside. It'll be 1-0 to Connor King. And King's 1-0 is low and inside. It'll be 2-0. King batting .298 on the season. 2 balls, no strikes against Sadler here. King on the postseason batting .500. 2-0, called strike. Fastball right down the pipe. It's 2-1. 2 balls and a strike to count here to the leadoff man, Connor King. And a scoreless bottom of the first. 2-1 is high and away. It'll be 3 balls and a strike. Connor King, 58 walks on the season and 8 here in the state tournament. Has not struck out once. The 3-1 is chopped foul down the first base line, and now his count goes full. Payoff pitch coming to the leadoff man, King. Post 22 on the offensive for the first time here in the bottom of the first. And the payoff pitch is high and away for ball 4. And for a 9th time in the tournament and a 59th time this season, Connor King draws a walk. And the leadoff walk will put him on first and bring up Matt Hegre. Hegre in the state tournament for Post 22, batting .200. And he comes into this game overall in the season now, 65 games today for Post 22, batting .321. And his first pitch rides upstairs. It'll be 1-0. Jackson Sadler twice has pitched against the Hard Hats. He got the start in the back end of a doubleheader on June 2nd, went 4 innings and tossed 81 pitches, allowing 7 runs, 6 earned on 11 hits. 1-0 to Hegre, a called strike on the inside corner. Fastball from Sadler, it's 1-1. In that appearance, Sadler struck out a pair, walked 1, and surrendered a home run to Cooper Bowman. Ball and a strike is count. King leads off at first, and the next pitch is over the letters of Hegre. It'll be 2-1. The second game was the Region 3A Championship, where he came in relief of Ryland DeVries. Sadler went a pair of innings and threw 28 pitches, didn't allow a run on 2 hits, struck out 2 and walked 1. Next pitch to Hegre hits him, and he's going to take his base down the first base line. So Hegre will trot to first. Connor King is on second, and that's going to bring up Cooper Bowman with a chance to strike first for Post 22. And now the Mitchell coaching staff will come out and have a quick word with Sadler and company on the mound. Mitch Norden is the head coach of Mitchell. Brett Young, one of the assistants. That was Coach Norden coming out there to talk to Sadler and Mickles. So the first two men on by virtue of the free pass. King, a leadoff walk. Hegre hit by a pitch. Here comes Cooper Bowman. Bowman on the season batting .478. In the state tournament, Bowman's batting .417. And so now here comes Sadler to face Bowman. First pitch. Swung on. Ball's flared off foul first base side, and Bowman starts behind 0-1. Bowman in this tournament with runners in scoring positions batting a dead even .500. He has Connor King, one of the fastest runners on this team, in scoring position on second. No balls and a strike to count to Bowman. And here's the 0-1. Pitch is swung on. Ball's hit right to second. Stop made by Larson. To second for one. To first for two, and he got it. It's a 4-6-3 double play. And that will move Connor King to third. So quickly, 2 outs for Mitchell. The tide turning just a bit, and now it's up to Jack Sorensen to try and give the Hard Hats an early lead. Sorensen with runners in scoring position in the tournament batting .444. In the state tournament, Sorensen's batting .429. And his first pitch is a swing and a miss, and he starts off 0-1. Calling the balls and strikes behind home plate is John Whitcraft. Jesse Devine is umpiring at first. Steve Creer at second. And Burt Reddy at third. 0-1 to Sorensen, fouled off on the high pitch, and quickly he's behind 0-2. Connor King is on third. 2 outs in the bottom of a scoreless first inning. Jack Sorensen trying to deal some damage and put the Hard Hats on the board first. Here's the 0-2. Breaking ball, chopped foul third base side. Sorensen just a bit ahead of it. And his count remains 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes to count here to Sorensen. Sadler pitching from the stretch. Here's his 0-2. Swung on, ball is hit into left field for a base hit. Connor King's going to come in to score. And Jack Sorensen gets a 2-out RBI single. Post 22 on the board first. It's 1-0 here in the bottom of the first inning. So Connor King comes in to score. Jack Sorensen, again, batting .429 in this tournament. And with runners in scoring position, .444, so he will only see that escalate. Here comes Jace Caldwell. First pitch is a breaking ball, called strike on the inside corner, and Caldwell starts behind 0-1. Jace Caldwell on the season, batting .395 for post 22. Sorensen leads off at first, and the 0-1 is high and away. It'll be a ball and a strike now to Caldwell. Caldwell has DH'd every game in this tournament for post 22. Batting .357. Next pitch swung on, ball's hit to short. Kitchens the stop, easy toss to second, gets the force. And that will end the bottom half of the first. Well, post 22 did exactly what they wanted to do. They got the early lead. It's a run on a hit. No errors charged to Mitchell, and 1 man left on the base path. We have played 1 inning of baseball. Post 22 strikes first in the state championship matchup against Mitchell. Post 18. They have a narrow 1-0 lead after 1 frame. We'll take a step aside and come right back with the heart of the Mitchell order when we return with the top of the second here on ESPN Rapid City. For Mitchell, it looks at a first pitch ball low as we resume play. And the next pitch from Sumption missing again, low and away. 2-0. Zach Sumption back on the mound for post 22. He will face the heart of the Mitchell order here in the top of the second with the Hard Hats up 1-0. Next pitch to Hawkins, rides upstairs. Quickly, he's ahead 3-0 against Sumption. Hawkins, the lefty Nash, and Max slated to hit. 3-0. And that misses low for ball 4. So Brady Hawkins issues, Sumption issues Hawkins a leadoff walk on 4 pitches. That's going to bring us now to the lefty, Peyton Nash, who's patrolling left field here for Mitchell. Post 22, a run on a hit with no errors. Mitchell just got their first base runner. No runs, no hits, no errors here in the top of the second. First pitch from Sumption to the lefty, and Peyton Nash is high and away. 1-0. Sumption yet to throw a strike in this inning. Hawkins leads off of first. Sumption from the stretch. 1-0. That's high and away. 2 balls, no strikes now to Nash. Peyton Nash, in their earlier matchup in the state tournament on Thursday, the day 2 1-0 matchup, didn't register an at-bat. He was walked twice and hit by a pitch. So 3 plate appearances, and he made the base path all 3 times, but he didn't come around to score. The 2-0 is low. 3 balls, no strikes now. It's Peyton Nash. And now Mason Messenger and Ryan Schmidt are going to come out and have a quick word here with Zach Sumption from second and catcher, respectively. Both of them just rubbing his shoulder, giving him a pat on the back. Just trying to calm him down because Sumption's thrown 7 pitches in the inning and not a single one's hit the strike zone just yet. 3 balls, no strikes now to Peyton Nash. Sumption settles down, and his 3-0 is upstairs for ball 4. So back-to-back 4-pitch walks to start off the top of the second for Mitchell. Carter Max, the second of the Max twins, comes up, the first baseman. And so you'd have to imagine Mitchell will probably resort to the sacrifice bunt. Jack Sorensen is on the grass over at first. He's going to come in to charge. Parallel with the mound now. Sumption's first pitch. He shows bunt. He drops it next to the mound. Sumption fields. Tossed to first is high, but Messenger covering it, landed on the bag, and it's in time. So it's a 1-4 sacrifice bunt in the books. That'll move Nash to second and Hawkins to third. Mitchell with the tying run 90 feet away. The go-ahead run 90 feet behind that on second, and that'll bring up the second baseman, Kobe Larson. Larson went 1 for 3 on Thursday against the Hard Hats with a pair of strikeouts and an RBI single. And his first pitch from Sumption is inside for ball 1. 1-0 the Hard Hats lead. That is now in jeopardy here with 1 out in the top of the second. 2 men in scoring position for Larson. The 1-0 called strike. Fastball belt high right down the pipe. It's 1-1. Sumption looking for a crucial second out without surrendering a run. He'd rather get it at the plate here. 1-1 pitch called, strike on a breaking ball. It froze Larson. He thought about swinging. Buckled him a little bit. 1-2 now to Larson. Sumption looking for his second strikeout. And the 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball missed low, and Larson held back. It's 2-2. Jared Miller, the center fielder, on deck. Sumption again from the stretch. 2-2 to Larson. Swung on. Ball's popped up. Foul territory. First base side. Sorensen calls everybody off, and he makes the catch for out number 2. A big second out that didn't advance anyone or score a run. It'll be men on second and third with 2 outs. And Jared Miller now is the last hope for Mitchell to try and knock one or both of those runners in. Jared Miller with 2 outs here in the top of the second. Brady Hawkins, a leadoff walk. He's on third. Peyton Nash, a walk after him. He's on second. First pitch, missed low and away. 1-0. Jared Miller went 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts against the Hard Hats on Thursday when Zach Cholas pitched. Ball and no strikes to count. And Sumption's pitch swung on, hit to third. Hegre, the stop on the high hop. Tossed to first in time. Crisis averted. Post 22 strands 2 Mitchell runners in scoring position. They maintain their 1-0 lead. No runs, no hits, no errors. 2 men left on the base path in scoring position for Mitchell. We've played an inning and a half of baseball, and Post 22 still has the lead. It's 1-0 here in the 2018 South Dakota American Legion Baseball State Championship. We'll take a step aside and come right back with the bottom of the second. Post 22 back at it on offense when we return here on ESPN Rapid City. Post 22 Hard Hats baseball here on ESPN Rapid City is presented by Courtesy Subaru, Shields, Qdoba Mexican Eats, Renewal by Anderson, Sicky's Garage Burgers and Brews, the Mustang Disaster Cleanup, and the Man Salon. Almost a disaster for the Hard Hats to clean up back at the top of the second, but Zach Sumption and company got through and stranded two men in scoring position for Mitchell. They maintain their 1-0 lead. Alex Weaver, Holden Jackson, and Ryan Schmidt slated to hit for the Hard Hats. And Weaver looks at a first pitch low and away from Jackson Sadler, the Mitchell starter, and he starts off 1-0. Weaver on the season batting .320 coming into this matchup, and is 1-0. Again misses low and away. 2-0. In the state tournament, Alex Weaver's had a ton of success batting .538 here in Pierre. 2-0 pitch. Swung on and missed. And it's 2-1 now to Weaver. So Weaver, Jackson, and Schmidt to hit. Jackson has yet to swing the bat here in the state tournament. 2-1 to Weaver, a called strike. Fastball belt high, and it's 2-2. Jackson came in to pitch once in the tournament. He is playing right field with Zach Sumption, the normal right fielder, starting today. 2-2, swung on, lined into left field. That ball's going to drop for a base hit. It's going to roll all the way to the wall. Weaver rounds first, and he's going to head into second with a leadoff double here in the bottom of the second. Post 22 with a 1-0 lead, and their leadoff man in scoring position. That brings up Holden Jackson. Alex Weaver, that's his third double of the state tournament. That's going to bring up Holden Jackson. Again, Jackson has yet to swing the bat in this tournament, but he comes in on the season in 34 games previously swinging the bat with a .361 average. First pitch, fastball at his letters, it's 1-0. Alex Weaver, with his third double of the tournament, leads off a second. Ball and no strikes the count here to Jackson. Here's the 1-0. Swung on, ball's hit high in the air towards center field. Jared Miller underneath it makes the catch. Weaver tags up, he's going to go for third, and he'll get there safely. So Holden Jackson flies out to center. That's out number one, but he's succeeded in moving Weaver 90 feet closer to home. It's a man on third with one out here in the bottom of the second, and that's going to bring up Ryan Schmidt. Schmidt, the catcher, did not play last night. Todd Stevens got the nod to give him the day off. Batting .375 here in Pierre. And his first pitch buzzes the tower high and inside with a fastball. It's 1-0. Schmidt on the year for Post 22, batting .342. Alex Weaver 90 feet to his left. The 1-0 swung on, hit to short. Kitchens gets the stop, throw to first in time. Weaver comes home. It's an RBI ground out for Ryan Schmidt. Post 22 has doubled its lead. It's 2-0 with two outs here in the bottom of the second. Not the most glamorous play there for Schmidt, but it got the job done likewise. Here comes Mason Messenger now, the second baseman. Batting .309 on the season for Post 22. Two outs and an empty base path, and his first pitch skips low and away, and he starts off 1-0. Messenger on the tournament is batting .444, 3 singles and a double to make his 4 hits in 9 at-bats. The 1-0, breaking ball low and away, and he laid off. 2 balls, no strikes now the count to Messenger. Messenger against Mitchell went 2 for 3, and his only double of the tournament came against them on Thursday. Next pitch is a called strike. Fastball of the inside corner, belt high. 2-1 now to Messenger. He also walked once and came around to score once. 2-1, swung on, ball's lined into left field, and that'll drop in front of Peyton Nash for a base hit. Mason Messenger keeps the inning going with a 2-out single here in the bottom of the second. It puts a man on first, and that'll bring up Connor King. So Jackson Sadler has seen the entire Post 22 lineup once. He now starts his second go-round. Connor King walked to lead off the offensive entries for Post 22. He scored their first run of the ball game as well on the RBI single from Jack Sorensen. And he looks at a first pitch ball and starts off 1-0. 1-0 the count here to King, with Mason Messenger leading off at first, and the 1-0 is a called strike. Fastball belt high, it's 1-1. If King's retired, Kitchens and then back to the top, Max and Kerr are due up for Mitchell in the top of the third. Narrow 2-0 game right now. Check to first, and Messenger's back safely. Ball and a strike now, the count here to Connor King. And the 1-1 from Sadler. Time was called. It was a pitch up high, but time was called to King, so his count will remain 1-1, but it could have easily been 2 balls and a strike. 1-1 now the count here to King. Sadler checks Messenger, and the 1-1. Fastball upstairs. Regardless, counts 2-1. I find it crazy that in this tournament, Connor King has not struck out once. He has walked 9 times now. 2-1, swung on, ball's hit high in the air towards right center field. Carson Max comes underneath it, gives way to Miller, the center fielder. Miller makes the catch, and that will put an end to the bottom half of the second. Post 22 has dealt more damage. It's another run on a pair of hits. No errors charged to Mitchell, and Mason Messenger stranded on first base. We played 2 innings of baseball here in the 2018 South Dakota American Legion Baseball State Championship. Post 22 has now a 2-0 lead over Mitchell Post 18. We'll take a step aside and come right back with the top of the third in just a few moments here on ESPN Rapid City. Two innings are in the books here in Game 1 of potentially 2 of the 2018 South Dakota American Legion Baseball State Championship. And Post 22 currently has a 2-0 lead over Mitchell Post 18. Numbers across the board in our pair of frames. For the Hard Hats, it's 2 runs on 3 hits with no errors. For Mitchell, it's zeros across the board. No runs, no hits, no errors. Mark Benetti alongside you here on ESPN Rapid City as Zach Sumption goes back to work in the start for Post 22. They'll take on 9, 1, and 2 in the order, starting off with Drew Kitchens, who fouls off his first pitch and starts off 0-1. Kitchens in the earlier matchup this week went 0 for 3 with a ground out to the mound, a pop out to first, and a strikeout. Here's his 0-1. Breaking ball missed low, and the count evens up at a ball and a strike. So it's Kitchens, and then back to the top of the order for the lefty Carson Max, and then Austin Kerr, slated to hit in the inning. Here's the 1-1. Pitch is swung on. Ball's hit to third. Matt Hegre between his legs gets the stop. Gun to first in time. Almost pulled Sorensen off the bag, but he held taut. And that's 1 away. And that'll bring us back to the top of the order to Carson Max, the left-handed hitting right fielder. So now Zach Sumption has seen the entire Mitchell order once through. Here is his second go-round. Max is 0 for 1. He is the only strikeout issued by Sumption in this start. First pitch. Breaking ball, called strike inside. And he starts off 0-1. Max's strikeout was a backwards K to start off the ballgame. The 0-1 swung on, flared high in the air towards left field. Alex Weaver backtracking underneath it, had to make a tough catch. Out number 2. So an opposite field, a hit there for Max, but it was caught by Weaver. That'll be 2 up, 2 down. And that'll bring up Austin Kerr, the designated hitter, who's 0 for 1 with a pop-out to Cooper Bowman. That was barehanded. That was insane. I still can't believe that. First pitch is swung on, pop foul to the front of my press box on the concourse, and it starts off 0-1. Post 22, 4-0 in the state tournament. Mitchell 3-1. Their only loss was to the Hard Hats. 0-1, swung on, ball's hit high in the air towards center. Underneath it's Connor King, backpedaling, makes the catch, and that ends the top of the third. For a second time in 3 innings, the Hard Hats register a 1-2-3 inning on defense, which, as we all know, means no runs, hits, errors, or anybody left on base. We've played 2.5 innings of the state championship. Post 22 has successfully protected its 2-0 lead. We'll take a step aside and come right back with the bottom of the third in just a few moments, right here with the 2018 South Dakota American Legion Baseball State Championship on ESPN Rapid City. Post 22 back on the offensive now as they come to the bottom of the third here in the state championship matchup against Mitchell, holding on to a 2-0 lead at the moment. Jackson Sadler will reprise his start for Mitchell as he comes back on the mound for inning number 3. 36 pitches under his belt, 19 in the first, 17 in the second. This is the 6th time this season and the 4th time since Region 3A postseason play began last week that Mitchell and Post 22 have met. The Hardhats swept a doubleheader on June 2nd with 17-7 and 11-8 wins. Beat Mitchell in day 2 of the Region 3A 8-3. Beat them for the title the next day 6-2. And then earlier in the state tournament 11-1. Hegre, Bowman, and Sorensen slated to hit for the Hardhats in this inning. And Matt Hegre looks at a first pitch called strike. 0-1. And Sadler's 0-1 misses low and away, and that'll even up at a ball and a strike. Hegre earlier in this ball game was hit by a pitch, but he did not come around to score. He was actually in the middle of a 4-6-3 double play. 1-1 pitch swung on and missed on the breaking ball. Hegre way ahead of it. And now the count goes to a ball and 2 strikes for the Hardhats third baseman. And Sadler's 1-2. Breaking ball swung on, ball's hit to short. Kitchens the stop between his legs. Throw to first in time. And that'll be out number 1 for the Hardhats on offense. So 1 up, 1 down now brings us to Cooper Bowman, who was responsible for grounding into the 4-6-3 double play that we talked about back in the bottom of the first. So he is 0 for 1. Cooper Bowman hit a home run off of Jackson Sadler earlier this season. It was in the back end of that doubleheader in which Sadler got the start of 4 innings. First pitch swung on, ball's hit high in the air towards left center field. It's got the legs, it's got the distance, and it has left the ballpark. Cooper Bowman, a solo blast over the left center field wall. And Post 22 has scored 3 innings in a row. It's 3-0. I'll take the credit for foreshadowing all day long. Post 22 now with a 3-0 lead. Cooper Bowman, his second home run this season off of Sadler and his 10th overall on the campaign. Post 22 now 3 runs on 4 hits. And that'll bring up Jack Sorensen. And Sorensen's first pitch is low and away, 1-0. First pitch Bowman saw, and he torched it out of the park. 1-0, called strike on a breaking ball inside to Sorensen, and it's 1-1. Ball and a strike the count here to Sorensen, and the pitch is high and inside. It'll be 2-1. Jack Sorensen has an empty base path. Cooper Bowman with the solo shot before him. 2-1 pitch is a half swing and a miss. It'll be 2-2 now to Sorensen, and he knew it. He tried to pull up and check his swing, but the bat had too much going on it. So it'll be 2 balls and 2 strikes now to the Hardhats first baseman. And Sadler's 2-2 pitch. This is low and away on a breaking ball, and the count goes full. Post 22 now with a 3-0 lead. They've scored 1 run in each of the last 3 innings. Payoff pitch to Sorensen. Swung on. Ball's chopped to third. Hawkins the easy stop in the corner. Throw to first in time. Out number 2. So 2 down for the Hardhats on offense here in the bottom of the third. And that'll bring us to Jace Caldwell, who is 0 for 1, grounding into an inning-ending fielder's choice. Caldwell steps in for his second matchup against Sadler. Here's the first pitch. Swung on, ball's fouled behind home plate and over the backdrop. Starts off 0-1. No balls and a strike to Caldwell. 2 outs and an empty base path here in the bottom of the third. Post 22 now with a 3-0 lead. 0-1 pitch, swung on, ball's hit to short. Kitchens the stop to his left. Throw to first is high, but landing on the bag is Carter Max, and it's in time. And that will end the inning. For a third consecutive frame in this state championship, Post 22 is on the board with another run. A run on a hit with no errors charged to Mitchell. Nobody left on the base path. 3 innings of baseball in the books for the 2018 South Dakota American Legion Baseball State Championship. Post 22 has a 3-0 lead. We'll take a step aside and come right back with the 4th inning and the continuation of the state championship here on ESPN Rapid City. 3 innings are in the books. You're in the 2018 South Dakota American Legion Baseball State Championship. Post 22 has added to their lead once again. It stands at 3-0 against Mitchell. And you can thank Cooper Bowman in the bottom of the third for his solo blast over the left center field wall to increase the hard hat advantage. Sumption will face 3, 4, and 5 in the Mitchell order, starting off right now with Sam Mickles. And he deals a breaking ball low to start him off 1-0. Mickles, Hawkins, the lefty Nash to face Sumption. Next pitch is a fastball. That one missed low. And now it's 2-0 to Mickles. Mickles is 0 for 1, popped out to his position. Ryan Schmidt behind home plate to end a 1-2-3, top of the first. Next pitch is a line drive right up the middle, and that's in the center for a base hit. So Sam Mickles gets the first hit of the ball game for Mitchell here in the top of the fourth. Leadoff man on for a second time in the last 4 innings for Mitchell. That'll bring us to Brady Hawkins. Hawkins walked to lead off the top of the second. He was all the way on third, but he could not come around. First pitch to Hawkins, swung on, ball's hit high in the air towards right field. Holden Jackson towards the line, makes the catch. Nice defensive play by Jackson. His first action defensively of the tournament. One down with a man on first. Now brings us to Peyton Nash. Nash was also walked, and he was the potential go-ahead run stranded in scoring position. And now Nash will face Sumption for a second time. First pitch, called strike. Fastball in the inside corner, 0-1. The winner of this game will go to the Central Plains Regional Tournament. Rather, the winner of this championship, I should say. If Post 22 loses this game, they'll play one more. Check to first, not there in time. Back safely was Mickles. So the winner of this state championship will start off against Iowa in Dickinson, North Dakota next Wednesday. That game will be played at 1:30 local time. 0-1 pitch, misses low. The ball got away from Schmidt as he mislocated it. It was right in front of him. And taking advantage of second is Sam Mickles. So that'll be a passed ball and a 1-1 count now to Nash. Second out of 2 lefties for Sumption to face in the lineup. Ball and a strike to count. He looks to Mickles and the 1-1. Fastball's up high at the letters. It'll be 2-1. The winner of that game will play against Dickinson, the host, and the Nebraska A champion. Nebraska and Minnesota, the only 2 states in the tournament that bring home 2 champions to the Central Plains Regional Tournament. Next pitch to Nash is a swing and a miss, and now it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Peyton Nash up with Sam Mickles in scoring position. 1 out here in the top of the fourth. And the 2-2 swung on, hit to short. Bowman gets the stop, and he tags Mickles, and that's all he's going to get. Cooper Bowman with a great heads-up defensive play gets the lead runner, so it'll be a 6 unassisted fielder's choice. 2 down, and now Nash is the only base runner, but now he's 270 feet from home. How clutch of a defensive play was that? Carter Max now comes up. He had a sacrifice bunt back in the top of the second. Here's the first pitch. Breaking ball upstairs. It's 1-0. If Max is retired, Weaver, Jackson, and Schmidt will hit for the hard hats here in the bottom of the fourth. Post 22 with a 3-0 lead. 1-0 pitch. Called strike at the belt of Carter Max. It's 1-1. And if they maintain this lead after this half inning, you can credit Cooper Bowman's heads-up defensive play, tagging the lead runner. So now the only runner on the base path is 270 feet from home on first. 1-1 pitch. Fastball high and away. It was a check swing, and Max held back. 2-1. If Max keeps the inning going, though, Kobe Larson's on deck. Larson's 0 for 1 with a pop out down the first base line. 2-1. Swung on and missed. Carter Max now with a 2-2 count. Sumption looking for his second strikeout of the start. It would put an end to the top half of the fourth if he got it. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Sumption looks over to first to Peyton Nash. 2-2. Breaking ball, swung on, flared into shallow left field. Bowman on the run, can't make the catch. It's off the end of his glove. Almost a base running error, though, for Nash, as coming into field it was Weaver. He got the throw to Messenger, but it wasn't there in time. So that'll be a 2-out bloop single for Carter Max. Into left center. Bowman almost made another fantastic catch. If you recall, he denied Austin Kerr of a hit on a barehanded catch on a pop-out. And he nearly made another one, sprinting backwards. So it'll be 2 outs, men on first and second, and a chance for Mitchell to strike. That'll bring up Kobe Larson, who with 2 men in scoring position popped out down the first baseline and did not advance anyone to come home. First pitch. Fastball misses low. It's 1-0. Post 22 with a 3-0 lead here in the top of the 4th. Game 1 out of potentially 2 for the 2018 South Dakota American Legion Baseball State Championship. Here's the 1-0. Called strike. Fastball right down the pipe from Sumption. Belt high to Larson. 1-1. Peyton Nash is on second. Carter Max is on first. 2 outs, top of the 4th. And Sumption's 1-1 is a fastball called strike on the low outside corner. 1-2 now to Larson. Sumption again, another strike away from ending the inning. Trying to register his second K against Larson. 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. And that's K number 2, and it puts an end to another scoring threat for Mitchell. It is no runs on a pair of hits, the first 2 of the ball game for Mitchell. No errors charged to the Hard Hats. 2 men left on the base path and 1 in scoring position. We've played half of this first championship game here in Pierre. 3.5 out of 7 innings. Post 22 has once again protected its 3-0 lead. We'll take a step aside and we'll be right back with the second half of the ball game in the bottom of the 4th here on ESPN Rapid City. Post 22 Hard Hats Baseball here on ESPN Rapid City is presented by Courtesy Subaru, Shields, Qdoba Mexican Eats, Renewal by Anderson, Sicky's Garage Burgers and Brews, the Mustang Disaster Cleanup, and the Man Salon. Post 22 through 3.5 innings of the 2018 state championship against Mitchell has a 3-0 lead. Back to the sticks they go with Alex Weaver, Holden Jackson, and Ryan Schmidt slated to hit in the inning. Weaver's first pitch is a check swing on a pitch low and away, and he'll start off 1-0. Weaver's 1 for 1 in the state championship with a double and a run scored. That came back in the bottom of the 2nd. Next pitch is swung on off the end of the bat, right back to Sadler on the mound. Easy toss to first. 1 down. That's 1-3 in the book. Weaver retired, and that'll bring up Holden Jackson. Jackson flew out to center, but the fly out advanced Weaver to third. And then Ryan Schmidt followed up with an RBI ground out. So while Holden Jackson's flyout doesn't look glamorous, it played a huge part in the Hard Hats' 3-0 lead. He looks at a first pitch called strike on a changeup, and he'll start off 0-1 to Jackson Sadler, who's out for his 4th inning of work. 0-1 pitch called strike on a fastball on the outside corner, and quickly he's in an 0-2 hole against Sadler. Sadler threw 19 pitches in the first, 17 in the second, 13 in the third. And the 0-2 is swung on, hit to short. Kitchens the stop, throw to first in time, 2 away. And in this inning, he's only thrown 5 pitches, and he's registered 2 outs. So 54 pitches, soon to be 55 for Sadler as he now faces Ryan Schmidt. Schmidt again had the RBI ground out. Back in the bottom half of the 2nd. And he looks at a first pitch ball and then a called strike. It's 1-1. Ball and a strike the count here to Schmidt. The next pitch is low and away, and his count goes to 2-1. Empty base path for Schmidt. 2 outs in the bottom of the 4th. Mitchell trying to get out of this 1-2-3. 2-1 is swung on and missed. 2-2 now to Schmidt. 3-0 the Hard Hats lead here in the bottom of the 4th. And the 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball swung on, hit high in the air towards shallow short. Kitchens on the run makes the catch, and that's going to end it. So for the first time today, the Hard Hats go down on offense 1-2-3, which, as we all know, means no runs, hits, errors, or anybody left on base. We've played 4 innings of the 2018 South Dakota American Legion Baseball State Championship, and Post 22 still has a 3-0 lead to protect as we now come to the top of the 5th inning. We'll take a step aside and come right back in just a few moments here on ESPN Rapid City. Four innings have been played here in Game 1 of potentially 2 in the 2018 South Dakota American Legion Baseball State Championship. Post 22 has a 3-0 lead over their adversaries, Mitchell, Post 18, heading into the top of the 5th. For the Hard Hats, it's 3 runs on 4 hits with no errors in the field. And for Mitchell, it's no runs on a pair of hits with no errors. Mark Benetti alongside you here on ESPN Rapid City, 105.7 FM, 1340 AM. And once again, streamed on post8baseball.com, where you could have caught every single game with video streaming of the state tournament. This is the 6th matchup of the season between Mitchell and Post 22. Mitchell has dropped all 5 leading up to this moment. Post 22 swept a doubleheader on June 2nd, 17-7 and 11-8. Won on day 2 of the Region 3A tournament 8-3. Won the Region 3A title 6-2. And then won earlier this week on day 2 of the tournament 11-1. First pitch of the inning to Jared Miller is hit right to Cooper Bowman. That's a 6-3 ground out in the book, as his throw to first was in time. So Mitchell starts off 1 up, 1 down, and that'll bring up Drew Kitchens, the shortstop. Drew Kitchens 0 for 1 with a ground out to third. Miller will go to 0 for 2 with 2 ground outs to the left side of the infield. Sumption a full windup to Kitchens. And his first pitch is a called strike on a breaking ball. And he starts behind 0-1. Post 22 trying to hang on to a 3-0 lead here in the top of the 5th. 0-1 is a fastball low and away. 1-1 now the count here to Kitchens. Carson Max, the lefty at the top of the order, patiently waits for a shot. That'll mark the 3rd go-around for Sumption in the lineup. 1-1, called strike on a breaking ball outside corner. 1-2 now to Kitchens. Sumption with a pair of strikeouts, looking for his hat trick. Here comes the 1-2 to Kitchens. Breaking ball swung on, popped up high in the air towards the foul line. Left field, Weaver on the run, running forward, makes the catch. Out number 2. Alex Weaver had to cover a ton of ground to make that catch. Almost fell into no man's land. That's 2 up, 2 down for Mitchell here in the top of the 5th. Brings us back to the top of the order to the lefty, Carson Max. Max is 0 for 2 in this ball game with a strikeout and a line out to left. His strikeout was looking at strike 3. Here's the first pitch. Called strike. Breaking ball inside. It's 0-1. No balls and a strike to count, and Sumption's pitch is a breaking ball low and away that skips from Schmidt. Nobody on the base path to take advantage, though. 1-1. Empty bases for Max. 2 outs in the top of the 5th. Post 22 up 3-0 here in the championship showdown against Mitchell. Here's the 1-1. Fastball high and away. 2-1 now to Max. If Max is retired, that's the 3rd 1-2-3 inning of the ballgame for Sumption and company. Messenger, King, and Hegre would hit in the bottom of the 5th. Next pitch swung on, lined in the air towards right. Jackson on the run, sliding, makes the catch, and that's going to end it. Another 1-2-3 inning for the Hard Hats on defense. No runs, hits, errors, or anybody left on base for Mitchell. We've played 4.5 innings of the state championship showdown, and Post 22 has once again preserved its 3-0 lead. We'll take a step aside, folks, and come right back with the bottom of the 5th. The Hard Hats back to the sticks here on ESPN Rapid City. 3-0 is the Post 22 lead as we head into the bottom half of the 5th inning here in the 2018 South Dakota American Legion Baseball State Championship. Through 4.5 for Post 22, it's 3 runs on 4 hits with no errors on defense, and for Mitchell, it's no runs on a pair of hits with no blemishes in the field. Thanks again so much for joining us this afternoon, folks, for the championship showdown between Mitchell and Post 22. Mark Benetti alongside you here on ESPN Rapid City, 105.7 FM and 1340 AM. 9-1 and 2 slated to hit for the Hard Hats. Mason Messenger, then back to the top of the order to Connor King and Matt Hegry. So here comes Mason Messenger, and his first pitch misses low and inside. He'll start off 1-0. And the 1-0 misses low to Messenger. It'll be 2 balls and no strikes. Messenger's 1 for 1. He had a 2-out single back in the bottom of the 2nd, but he couldn't come around to score. 2-0, skips low from Jackson Sadler, reprising his start. 3-0. Now to Messenger. Got to give Sadler some credit. He hasn't pitched a bad game at all. His real only blemish was allowing a home run to Cooper Bowman, but that's about it. 3-0 to Messenger, and that's upstairs for ball 4. So that's a 4-pitch walk to Messenger. Leadoff man on for the Hard Hats. Back to the top of the order we go to Connor King. So you look at Sadler's numbers. He's only walked a pair. He's hit a batter. He's surrendered a home run, and now his start is going to come to an end. Jackson Sadler, he went 4+ innings, and he comes off to applause from the Mitchell faithful. Tip your cap to that gentleman. I mentioned it before. I'm going to say it again. He did not pitch a bad game. It's 3-0 right now in the state championship. He has still provided Mitchell with an opportunity to come in and try and win this. So Austin Kerr will now come in to take over for Jackson Sadler, and that means that coming in as the DH, they lose the designated hitter. So every pitching change, there will have to be a change at the 2 position in the order unless another substitution's made. Sadler gave up 3 runs, and he's responsible for Messenger. All runs were earned on 4 hits. He didn't strike out anyone, but he walked a pair and hit 1 on 62 pitches. He only threw 4 pitches in that last inning. So Sadler will now give way to Austin Kerr. Kerr will take on Post 22 for the foreseeable future. Kerr has not pitched against Post 22 all season long in their previous 5 meetings. So this is a first for him taking on the Hard Hats. Kerr will start off at the top of the order, though. But he inherits Mason Messenger on first from Sadler's walk. Three 0 the Hard Hats lead. Connor King comes in 0 for 1 with a walk and a run scored. He was the first of the 3 Hard Hats runs scored. Alex Weaver doubled and came around to score, and then Cooper Bowman hit a solo home run. Those are the 3 gentlemen representing the runs. Jack Sorensen knocked in Connor King, Ryan Schmidt knocked in Weaver, and then Cooper Bowman knocked in himself. 3 0 the Hard Hats lead here in the bottom of the 5th. No outs, and the leadoff man is on. And now back to the top of the order we come to Connor King. Austin Kerr now in relief. His first pitch to King is high and away, ball 1. King showed bunt. Maybe that was to catch the infield defense asleep. 3 0, it's still a close game, so you've got to get all the runs that you can to try and separate yourself. All it takes for Mitchell's 1 inning, and they're right back into it. They are running out of time, though, here in the bottom of the 5th. The 1-0 misses low and inside. It'll be 2-0 now to King. Speaking with Coach Torvey about this Mitchell club, he absolutely loves what Luke Norton has done with this program, and he has a ton of respect for this program across from him. 2-0 from Kerr to King. Called strike. Fastball belt high. It's 2-1. And Coach Torvey, again, he loves everything that Coach Norton's done with this team, and you've got to credit him. This is 2 years in a row that Mitchell's playing on Championship Sunday. 2-1. King shows bunt again, but it's low and inside. It'll be 3-1 now to King. He's a pitcher. Austin Kerr in relief, looks to Messenger at first, and the 3-1. Swung on, ball's chopped foul, third base side, and the count goes full. Payoff pitch coming for a second time in this game to King. King again 0 for 1 with a walk and a run scored. If he gets the walk here, it's number 10 on the tournament. Payoff from Kerr. High, caught him looking, strike 3. King can't believe it. He thought it was high and away, but it caught him looking, and Kerr gets a big strikeout. His first in relief, and that'll bring us now to Matt Heggery with Mason Messenger on first, and the double play ball in effect to end the inning. The first time all tournament that Connor King is struck out. First pitch from Kerr to Heggery is outside, 1-0. Connor King, 59 walks on the year, 26 strikeouts now on the season. I can't remember the last time Connor King struck out. 1-0, called strike to Heggery, and the count evens now at 1-1. And I'm sure I could look that up. I might have to look at that in between innings just to check. Ball and a strike, the count to Heggery. Next pitch is popped up foul, and it goes over the overhang behind home plate. 1-2 now to the hard hatch third baseman. Post 22 with a 3-0 lead. 1 out and a man on first here in the bottom of the fifth against Mitchell. If they win this game, they win their 42nd state championship. They will go to the Central Plains Regional in Dickinson. 1-2 to Heggery, chop foul third base side. Just a tad bit ahead of that off-speed pitch. And now it's 1-2. Ball and 2 strikes now to Heggery. Messenger leads off of first. And that's high and inside. 2-2. The last time King struck out was against Mitchell in the Region 3A championship. Prior to that, it was against Sioux Falls East. He struck out twice against them. 2-2 to Heggery. Fastball low and away from Kerr, and the count goes full. So just about a week and a half ago, King suffered his last strikeout. But 26 of them on the year to 59 walks. That is insane. Payoff to Heggery. Runner goes, and it skips. It's ball 4. So Heggery draws a 1-out walk. That'll move Messenger to scoring position at second. And it brings up Cooper Bowman, who's 1 for 2, grounding into a 4-6-3 double play, and then launching a solo blast over the left center field wall. So Bowman looking for his second hit. He has men in scoring position, rather a man in scoring position, men on the base path. Sometimes grammar is hard. Austin Kerr in relief, looks to Messenger at second, and his first pitch. Misses low to Bowman, blocked by Mickles, so everybody stays put. 1-0 to Bowman. Heggery on first, Messenger on second with 1 out here in the bottom of the fifth. 3-0 is the Hard Hats lead. If they win this game, it's 42 state championships in team history. Here's the 1-0. Pitch is swung on. Ball's hit high in the air towards right center field. That ball has some legs on it. Underneath it and right to make the catch is Carson Max. Messenger tags up, and he's going to head to third. Cooper Bowman, another well-hit ball, but that one didn't have the power to get out opposite field. It moves Messenger to third. It keeps Heggery at first. It'll be men on the corners with 2 outs. Third, and he knocked him in with 2 outs. He is 1 for 2 with an RBI single. First pitch. Swung on. Ball's hit high in the air. Right field side. It goes foul and sails over the fence. And Sorensen starts off 0-1. No balls in a strike the count here to Sorensen. Messenger 90 feet to his left on third. Heggery 90 feet to his right on first. Kerr from the stretch. 0-1 to Sorensen. Called strike. Fastball on the outside corner. It's 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes now to Sorensen. Kerr in relief trying to end it. And send his team back on offense in the top of the 6th. Hegre goes. No one's covering the bag. Messenger tries to come home, and the throw's not there in time. A double seal for the Hard Hats, and Messenger comes home. Post 22 has a 4-0 lead with a man on second. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th. Gutsy base running from the Hard Hats, but it pays off. And now it's a man on second for Jack Sorensen. 0-2 still his count. Hegre leads off a second, and the 0-2 to Sorensen's upstairs. It'll be 1-2. Messenger on the tournament has scored 5 times now. That's basically a run a game. Next pitch swung on. Ball's hit high in the air towards left field. Underneath it is Peyton Nash, strafing to his left, makes the catch, and that's going to put an end to the bottom half of the 5th. Some gutsy base running from the Hard Hats provides them with another run. It's a run on no hits in the inning, no errors, and Matt Hegre stranded on second base. We've played 5 innings of baseball, and Post 22 has added to its lead. After 5 innings here in the state championship game, it is now 4-0. We'll take a step aside and be right back with the top of the 6th inning. Mitchell back to the sticks when we return here on ESPN Rapid City. Post 22 Hard Hats Baseball here on ESPN Rapid City is presented by Courtesy Subaru, Shields, Qdoba Mexican Eats, Renewal by Anderson, Sicky's Garage Burgers and Brews, the Mustang Disaster Cleanup, and the Man Salon. Post 22 back on the defensive now as Mitchell comes to the sticks for the top of the 6th inning. Post 22 hanging on to a 4-0 lead here in Game 1 of potentially 2 in the 2018 South Dakota American Legion Baseball State Championship. Zach Sumption to reprise his start against Austin Kerr, the DH turn pitcher, and he throws a first pitch ball low and away. Post 22, 4 runs, 4 hits, no errors through 5 innings. Mitchell, no runs on a pair of hits and no errors. Kerr's next pitch hit high in the air to center. King underneath it makes the catch. Out number 1. 1 up, 1 down for Mitchell. Kerr now goes to 0 for 3, and that'll bring us to Sam Mickles, who is 1 for 2 with a single. Mickles was in scoring position on second. He advanced on a pass ball. A ground ball was hit to short, and Bowman, instead of going to first, got him in a tag. And that took a key lead runner in scoring position off the base path for Mitchell, and it is largely responsible for the fact that this game is still 4-0. Sumption deals a first pitch ball to Mickles, and his 1-0 is popped up sky high in the air. Foul territory. Schmidt is there. Underneath it. Can't make the catch, and then he does with the bare hand. He almost collided into Jack Sorensen, but Ryan Schmidt comes up with the catch. High fives all around. It's 2 down. My goodness, that's 2 bare hand catches on pop-ups. 1 for Bowman, and Ryan Schmidt gives him a look and says, hey, I can do that too. 2 down for Mitchell on offense here in the top of the 6th. Here comes Brady Hawkins. And the first pitch to Hawkins is a called strike. He starts off 0-1. Hawkins is 0 for 1. A fly out to right and a walk. He was stranded on third back in the top of the 2nd. And his next pitch is a swing and a miss on a low breaking ball, and he's quickly behind Sumption, 0-2. Sumption working on his 63rd pitch of the start here in the top of the 6th. If he keeps up this efficiency, he might just go the distance. Here's the 0-2 to Hawkins. Breaking ball popped up foul. No way for Schmidt to barehand that one, and the count will remain 0-2. If Hawkins is retired, it's another 1-2-3 inning for the Hard Hats. Caldwell, Weaver, and Jackson would come up. Hawkins fouls off his next pitch. Count remains 0-2. That would be back-to-back 1-2-3 innings for the Hard Hats in 4 out of 6. Here's the 0-2 to Hawkins. Breaking ball, line to second, over the head of Mason Messenger, and into right for a base hit. So Brady Hawkins gets Mitchell just their 3rd hit of the ball game. A 2-out single here in the top of the 6th, and that's going to bring us to Peyton Nash the lefty. 0 for 1. Grounding into that fielder's choice that Mickles was involved in, as we talked about, the tag to Cooper Bowman, the leadoff runner. And then he also walked. Twice has been stranded in scoring position. Nash looks at a first pitch fastball called strike. It's 0-1. Hawkins on the base path for a second time. He leads off at first. Here's the 0-1. Called strike. Fastball on the outside corner. And it's 0-2 now to Peyton Nash. No balls, 2 strikes the count. Assumption, 0-2 pitch. Breaking ball swung on, chopped right back to Assumption on the mound. He bobbles the ball, settles it, tossed to first, is off track. And the ball goes all the way next to the Hard Hats dugout. Rounding third, coming home is Hawkins. Jackson, throw to the plate, is in time! And that is going to end the inning. Hawkins denied of an only scoring chance for Mitchell. And Post 22's 4-0 lead is still intact. That looked like near chaos for the Hard Hats, but Holden Jackson comes out with the gun and the play at the plate. Let's take a breather, folks. I know I need it. We'll put a minute on the clock. We'll be right back with the bottom of the 6th here in the 2018 State Championship game on ESPN Rapid City. Post 22 after a crazy finish to the top of the 6th. Now back on offense for, as of right now, the final time in the ballgame. Austin Kerr back in relief. First pitch to Jace Caldwell, a high chopper to third. Hawkins' throw is off track, and Caldwell is safe. The ball ended up leaving the playing surface, so Caldwell will be awarded second. So Caldwell reaches on an E5. And he will advance to second on the overthrow. And now Alex Weaver is going to come up here in the bottom of the 6th. So Caldwell to lead off. Weaver now up. Holden Jackson behind him to round out the 3 gentlemen slated to hit in this bottom half of the 6th. First pitch to Weaver. Swung on. Ball's hit high in the air towards shallow center. Underneath it's Jared Miller, and he makes the catch. Caldwell will stay put at second. That's 1 down for the Hard Hats here in the bottom of the 6th. Holden Jackson now comes up with Post 22 up 4-0. Mitchell had their best scoring opportunity on a throwing error from Zach Sumption. Brady Hawkins tried to score all the way from second, and he couldn't. He was beaten on a throw from Jackson to Ryan Schmidt. 4-0, still the Hard Hats lead. They are 3 outs on defense away from the title. Jackson's first pitch swung on. Ball's hit high in the air towards right center field. On the run is Carson Max, but unable to make the catch is Jared Miller in center. He drops the ball, and here comes Jace Caldwell. He gets the green light. He rounds third. He comes home. The throw not in time. Holden Jackson all the way to third, and Post 22's lead is now 5-0. And that'll be an E8, a 3-base error that allows Holden Jackson to come in. The second error of the inning for Mitchell. And now Ryan Schmidt comes up with Holden Jackson 90 feet to his left. Post 22 up 5-0 here in the championship game. And the first pitch to Assumption's a called strike. 0-1 the count to the Hard Hats catcher, who's 0 for 2 with an RBI groundout. The infield is in for Mitchell. They have to prevent the damage. Next pitch to Schmidt is fouled off, and he's behind 0-2. When this inning ends, Carter Max, Kobe Larson, and Jared Miller, barring any substitutions, are the final 3 hopes for Mitchell in the final inning. Next pitch to Schmidt, too far inside. It's 1-2. 5-0 is the Hard Hats lead here in the bottom of the 6th, here in the championship showdown against Mitchell. 1-0. Rather 1-2. Skips off of Mickles, and coming in to score is Jackson. It'll be 2 balls and 2 strikes. Jackson comes in on the pass ball, and it's now 6-0, post 22. We had a miscue on the scoreboard there. It's a 2-2 count. And Kerr's 2-2 to Schmidt. Misses low, and it skips to the backstop, and the count goes full. Post 22, 2 runs on 2 errors in this inning, and they are not Austin Kerr's fault. In E5, Brady Hawkins overthrowing at first, and then the E8, Jared Miller dropping what seemed to be a surefire catch in center field. It's been a close game right up to this point. 4-0 coming into this inning. All it takes for Mitchell is just one big frame, and that's all they have left now on offense. But those 2 errors certainly did not do them any favors. 6-0 now the Hard Hats lead. Brief conference between catcher and pitcher. 3-2 from Kerr as a breaking ball low and away, and Ryan Schmidt draws a 1-out walk. That's going to bring up Mason Messenger, who's 1 for 1 with a single, a walk, a steal home, and because of that steal home, a run scored. Kerr looks to Schmidt at first. First pitch, low and away, 1-0. There's no action right now in the Mitchell bullpen, so you'd have to think that Kerr is going to ride this one out. Unless things really come unhinged here for post 18. Here's the 1-0. Fastball upstairs. 2 balls, no strikes. Post 22, 2 runs on no hits with a pair of errors in this inning. 6-0 their lead. Another brief conference between Kitchens and Kerr. 6-0, the Hard Hats lead. 6 runs, 4 hits, and an error for the Hard Hats, which they committed in the top half of this 6th. No runs, 3 hits, and 2 errors for Mitchell, which have been committed in the bottom half of the 6th. 2-0 from Kerr to Messenger, low and away, 3-0. Messenger a pitch away from back-to-back walks in as many plate appearances. Barring any substitutions. Runner goes. Pitch is swung on. Hit by Hawkins and into left for a base hit. And Schmidt's going to slam the brakes on second. And that'll be a single for Mason Messenger. We had to wait on the approval from our statisticians up here. It'll be men on first and second, and that's going to bring us back to the top of the order to Connor King, and I believe that will be the end of Austin Kerr's relief appearance. So Kerr ended up going an inning and a third, in which he allowed 1 hit, but he's allowed 3 runs, only 1 of which was earned. He's responsible for the other 2 gentlemen. He struck out 1 and has walked 2, and he threw 33 pitches in relief. Folks, we're going to take a step aside, and we will be right back to recap you on the scenario at hand and the new pitcher for Mitchell when we return here on ESPN Rapid City. His position yet to be determined. Drew Kitchens is going to come from the mound and take over for Kerr, who went an inning and a third and gave up 3 runs, only 1 of which was earned on a hit, with a pair of walks issued, a strikeout, and 33 pitches dealt. So Drew Kitchens will come on now to take on the Hard Hats. And this is also a first, as he has yet to pitch against Post 22 this season. We're just waiting to see if Kerr's going to take short or third. It looks like he will be on the left side of the infield. So there's a huddle up now between the Mitchell infield and Kitchens, the new pitcher, taking over for Austin Kerr. And once again, it's another pitching change that occurs at the top of the order. So Kerr only got one look through at the he only got one look at the Hard Hats lineup. And Kerr now heads to third. Kitchens will take over, and he'll get his look at the Hard Hats lineup. One out for Connor King, men on first and second. And Kitchens' first pitch in relief skips low, and King will start off 1-0. King's 0 for 2 with a flyout, a super rare strikeout, a walk, and a run scored. Here's the 1-0 from Kitchens. Called strike. Fastball called on the inside corner. Knee high to King. It's 1-1. King has Messenger on first and Schmidt on second with one out in the bottom of the sixth. Last offensive chance for the Hard Hats in this game. So the next pitch is low and inside, and it'll be 2-1 now to King. Post 22 with a 6-0 lead. They are 3 defensive outs away from the state championship. Here's the 2-1. Breaking ball just missed outside. And now it's 3-1 for Connor King. Matt Hegry is on deck for the Hard Hats. Kitchens looks to Schmidt at second. And the 3-1 is swung on. Ball's hit high in the air towards right field. Underneath it is Carson Max, and he makes the catch at the warning track. Tagging up from second and going to third is Schmidt, and he is safe. Staying at first is Messenger. So 2 down now for the Hard Hats. It'll be men on the corners, and that's going to bring us to Matt Hegry. As of right now, the final offensive out for post 22 here in this state championship showdown. If he keeps the inning going, Cooper Bowman gets one last swing potentially of the tournament. 6-0 the Hard Hats lead. Drew Kitchens on in relief. First pitch to Hegry, fouled off. He starts behind 0-1. Hegry's 0 for 1 with a ground out to short. He's walked, he's stolen a base, and he's also been hit by a pitch. So he's been on the base path twice. Hasn't come around to score, though. Here's the 0-1. Breaking ball high, and it's now 1-1 to the Hard Hats third baseman. If Hegry's retired, barring any substitutions, Carter Max, Kobe Larson, and Jared Miller are the last 3 chances for Mitchell in the top of the 7th. Next pitch to Hegry's a called strike on the inside corner. It'll be 1-2 now to the Hard Hat third baseman. Messenger leading off of first, Schmidt off of third. Here's the 1-2 from Kitchens. Breaking ball swung on, lined into center field, and that's going to drop for a base hit. Schmidt comes around to score. Messenger's going to round second, and he'll head to third. Hegry will come to second with an RBI double. And Post 22's lead is now 7-0 in the state championship with 2 outs and 2 men in scoring position here in the bottom of the 6th. So Schmidt comes in to score. Messenger over to third. Cooper Bowman will get a last shot. 2 men in scoring position for him. Bowman's already hit a home run in this ball game. If he hits another one, the game will end right here. Post 22 will invoke the 10-run rule and take the title. First pitch to Bowman. Swung on. Ball's hit high in the air to center field, and it's over the head of Jared Miller, and it goes all the way to the wall. 2 runs are going to come in to score. Bowman rounds second. He's going to go to third, and he'll get there safely. A 2-run RBI triple for Cooper Bowman, and Post 22 is a run away from the title. 9-0 is the Hard Hats lead. If Jack Sorensen can knock in Cooper Bowman, the game will end. You can feel it on the dugout. Everybody in that dugout for Post 22 is standing up. Not a single man sitting. First pitch to Sorensen. Misses low. It's 1-0. If Cooper Bowman comes home, the game ends. If Sorensen's retired, Post 22 needs 3 outs on defense. Ball and no strikes the count. Pitch, swung on, ball is hit to second base. Kobe Larson the stop. Throw to first is in time, and that will end the inning. Post 22 needs 3 outs on defense to get the job done. They, in this inning, have scored 5 runs on the power of 3 hits. 2 errors charged to Mitchell, and Cooper Bowman stranded 90 feet from ending the game and giving the Hard Hats the win. Post 22 is 3 outs away from their 42nd title in team history. We'll be right back with the top of the 7th in just a few moments here in the 2018 South Dakota American Legion Baseball State Championship on ESPN Rapid City. Post 22 is 3 outs away from the state championship. Mitchell, their last hope in the top of the 7th, comes down to Carter Max, Kobe Larson, and Jared Miller, barring any substitutions. Mark Benetti alongside you here on ESPN Rapid City. Sumption going for the complete game, and he deals a first pitch called strike. Outside corner, curveball to Carter Max. Starts off 0-1. Here is the 0-1, and that misses low, and the count evens up at a ball and a strike. Carter Max in this game is 1 for 1, credited with a sacrifice bunt. He also has a single. Top of the 7th, post 22, 3 outs away. 1-1, swung on and missed. Ball and 2 strikes. Sumption has retired 1, 2, 3 innings in 3 of the 6 innings already played. 1-2, chop foul, and the count will hold at a ball and 2 strikes. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count. Sumption is looking for his 3rd K of the start. He's trying to go the distance. 1-2, swung on, chop foul again, and the count will hold at 1-2. Sumption at 73 pitches in this start. He's averaging just over 10 an inning. Here is the 1-2 again to Max. Swung on and missed, strike 3. K number 3 for Zach Sumption. 1 up, 1 down for Mitchell. And that will prompt a pinch hitter for Kobe Larson. Bailey Miller. So Bailey Miller comes in to pinch hit. And his first pitch is swung on, hit high in the air, foul territory, and Jack Sorensen watches that sail over the dugout. And Miller starts off 0-1. 9-0 is the Hard Hats lead. They are 2 outs away from their 42nd state championship and their 5th in the last 6 years. 0-1 pitch is a breaking ball, high and inside, and it's 1-1. Bailey Miller coming in to pinch hit for Kobe Larson, who went 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Here's the 1-1. Breaking ball swung on and missed. And it's 1-2 now from Sumption to Miller. Miller again pinch hitting. Jared Miller is on deck, barring any substitutions. 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball swung on. Ball's hit to short. Bowman between his legs. The stop tossed to first in time. Post 22 is 1 out away from their 42nd title in team history. And now the game is on the bat of Jordan Dirks coming in to pinch hit for Jared Miller. Jordan Dirks comes in to pinch hit for Miller, who went 0 for 2 with a pair of groundouts to third and short. Post 22 and out away. First pitch, fastball upstairs, it's 1-0. Sumption's about to deal his 80th pitch in this start, trying to go for the complete game shutout. Here's the 1-0. Called strike. Fastball belt high, it's 1-1. Post 22 and out away from the title and from going to the Central Plains Regional Tournament. 1-1 pitch. Called strike. Fastball on the outside corner. And Sumption's a strike away. 1 ball, 2 strikes for the championship. 1-2. Breaking ball upstairs, and it's 2-2. Two balls and 2 strikes. Post 22 up 9-0. 1 out away. 2-2 for the title. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. And that's going to end it. Post 22 storms the field. They are back on top of South Dakota for the 42nd time in team history. Zach Sumption goes the complete game with 4 strikeouts to his credit. And they dogpile next to home plate. They are going to Dickinson, North Dakota, and the Central Plains Regional Tournament. Another complete matchup for Post 22 from top to bottom. They pick up their hard hats after the mess celebrating, and they come in. Championship 9-0, the final score over Mitchell, Post 18. 9 runs, 7 hits, and an error for Post 22. No runs, 3 hits, and a pair of errors for Mitchell. Sumption goes the distance, and he gets the complete game shutout. 4 strikeouts in 7 innings of work. And the Post 22 faithful cheering on their boys. Folks, we're going to take a step aside. When we come back, we'll have a presentation of some awards, medallions presented to the champions, and we'll sign off and say so long until next Wednesday when Post 22 plays the Iowa State champion in the 2018 Central Plains Regional Tournament. We'll be right back in just a few moments here on ESPN Rapid City. Hard Hats Baseball here on ESPN Rapid City is presented by Courtesy Subaru, by Shields, Qdoba Mexican Eats, Renewal by Anderson, Sicky's Garage Burgers and Brews, the Mustang Disaster Cleanup, and the Man Salon. No disasters for the Hard Hats to clean up in this one. They come out victorious once again. They are state champions for the 42nd time in program history. Thank you again so much for joining us for this Championship Sunday showdown between Mitchell and Post 22, ladies and gentlemen. Mark Benetti alongside you here on ESPN Rapid City, 105.7 FM, 1340 AM, and streamed on post8baseball.com for the whole week. We have award presentations coming right now as Post 22 is set to be crowned the champion once again, a 42nd time in team history. And a 5th time in the last 6 years. Post 22 got the 9-0 win over Mitchell. They started off with a 3-0 lead, scoring a run in each of the first 3 innings, which was capped off by a solo home run in the bottom of the 3rd from Cooper Bowman. And you got to give all the credit in the world to Mitchell because for almost the entirety of this ball game, it was close. Mitchell had their chances, too. They had runners stranded in scoring position in the 2nd when it was a 1-0 game. They had another runner stranded in scoring position in the 4th when at the time it was a 3-0 game. They had opportunities to do it, and then in the 6th to try and get some momentum going. Brady Hawkins tried to score all the way from first on a throwing error, and he was thrown out at home. And that ended up really killing a lot of the momentum for Mitchell. At the time, it was a 4-0 game, but in the bottom of the 6th, the Hard Hats batted through the lineup, and they plated 5 runs on 3 hits. And Mitchell committed 2 errors as well, and 2 runs scored because 2 runners reached on those errors. So Post 22 gets the state championship, 9 runs, 7 hits, 1 error. And Mitchell, no runs on 3 hits with 2 errors. The game took just less than an hour and a half. It went an hour and 24 minutes. And they will have some awards presented to Post 22, including their state championship trophy, which they have earned for a 42nd time in program history and for the 5th time in the last 6 years. Zach Sumption, his number was called to win this title for the Hard Hats, and my goodness, did he ever win it. 7 innings, the complete game shutout, 4 strikeouts, and he struck out, he walked a pair, struck out 4, and Sumption did it on 83 pitches. He was dialed in from start to finish. Coach Clapperich, before the team left the bus for the game, he said this is not a game you can assume you're going to roll through. You have to earn this. This is the title game. You never know what's going to come at you, and it was all business from start to finish. Prior to the arrival to the stadium, I had breakfast with Coach Torvey and the team this morning, which was so graciously provided from the Post 22 parents. And I asked Coach, I said, Coach, did you expect to get to this point? Did you think when you took this job you'd get to this point right now? And Coach looked at me and he said, well, you always hope that you're going to win a championship at the start of the year, but we didn't necessarily know what we had at the start of the year. Did we have hitting? Was our pitching going to be this stalwart? It was such an unknown. But once the game started going, the team built the confidence. he realized that this was a special team that could pull it off. Both teams are being honored right now. Mitchell as the state runner-up for a second year in a row. And again, going back to what Coach Torvey said about this team, you have to give Mitchell a ton of credit. Coach Torvey has such respect for Coach Norden and the program and how much he has brought this up to a quality baseball team. Outside of the doubleheader that the Hard Hats played against the Mitchell Club back in June, they've played 4 postseason matchups, 3 in the Region 3A tournament, 2 in the Region 3A tournament, 2 in the state tournament. And right up until the last 2 innings, it's been a close affair, a 1-run game, a 2-run game. And you've got to give them a ton of credit. Now Mitchell coming through the line to shake hands with the Hard Hats again. And again, tip your cap to Luke Norden and that entire squad. That is a first-class program. That is a first-class organization. And I would not be surprised if they were sitting in this particular spot next year for the state championship on Championship Sunday. Well, folks, now the next stage in the Hard Hats journey is the Central Plains Regional Tournament. Post 22 will take on the Iowa State champion at 1:30 local time on Wednesday. And that will begin next week. And my goodness, what a time this has been for Post 22. If they win the regional tournament, they will go to the American Legion World Series for the first time since national championship. Well, folks, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. This was a nerve-wracking game from start to finish, but Post 22 pulls out the win. 9-0. The final score, Post 22 wins the 2018 South Dakota American Legion Baseball State Championship. Mitchell being presented with the runner-up trophy to some great applause as well, and they hold that trophy high, and that's win with class and lose with class, I'll tell you that. And now Rapid City Post 22's lineup will be announced as the state champions. Numerically, they are being announced. The team will be presented with a medal and a centennial coin because next year, American Legion Baseball, which was created in Millbank, South Dakota, will celebrate its 100th anniversary. So they'll give them the centennial coin, and that's what they're going to start doing moving forward for the champion. And so numerically, they're going to start off with Ryan Bachman, who came in last night to pinch hit for Matt Hegry against Brandon Valley. He had such a great game coming in off the bench. Branson Keel came in to pitch in relief last night. He had a stellar appearance. Mason Messenger, a great game today, going 2 for 2 with 2 runs scored. Connor King at the leadoff position went 0 for 3 with a rare strikeout, but he scored in this game. Job well done in the tournament. Cholas pitched in game 2, and he got the win against Mitchell. Zach Sumption, the complete game win today. Tad Sherbinski came in relief twice in this tournament and were stellar in both appearances. Got the hold 2 nights ago. Todd Stevens, he came in yesterday in his first action, and he performed magnificently. Alex Weaver today went 1 for 3 with a double and a run scored. Zach Weitzel got the big win against Renner to put the Hard Hats in championship contention on Sunday. Holden Jackson again today. He was fantastic. 0 for 3 with a run scored. Triple and a solo home run, 2 for 4 in the title game. Jack Sorensen today, 1 for 4 with an RBI single. Drew Messer, he got the start yesterday against Brandon Valley. Pitched 3 quality innings. Ryan Schmidt, the catcher, he's been the anchor for Post 22 the whole season. He had an RBI ground out and a run scored on a walk. Dylan Ritchie got the start in game 1. He was on standby just in case he was needed. Job well done from him. Jace Caldwell in this game. 0 for 3, but he reached on an error and came around. And then the rest of the staff being announced as well. Ryan Clapperich, the pitching coordinator, and he comes in to receive his medal. Nick Ewing, great to see him back in the dugout with Post 22. And then Kelvin Torvey in his first year as the head coach. And he gets the job done. And a job well done to one of the best people I have ever met in life. And Coach Torvey, he's done a fantastic job with this program. And he comes out as a state champion. Folks, thanks again so much for joining our broadcast today for Championship Sunday. The next time we'll see you is 1:30 local time in Dickinson, North Dakota on Wednesday for Game 1 against the Iowa State champion in the Central Plains Regional Tournament. The Hard Hats now have a shot to go to their first World Series since 2015. Thanks so much for joining us, folks. For all of us with the Hard Hats organization and with our good friends at Halgo Broadcasting at ESPN Rapid City, this is Mark Benetti saying so long. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday, and we'll see you in Dickinson next Wednesday.